I am homeless living here in my car because rent prices have gone through the roof. The average price is now over $1,800 per month. And even though I work full time, with my wages, I don't make enough money to afford an apartment or even qualify for one. So I live here in my car, and this is just a quick little tour. I just got these cute little blue baskets that you see here, and I got my bookshelf there. I got my USB-C powered rechargeable fans, and I'm actually going live here on TikTok. I got a package in the mail, and if you'd like to check out and see what I got, join the live, say hello, and let me know in the comments of this video what you think about the rental prices that are happening right now in America. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think that it's outrageous? What do you think can be done? Let me know in the comments some of your ideas, and I hope you all are doing well and you have a great night. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
So I see so many people that are living in their car. I used to pick up at Panera Bread every morning. I would go in there. I would get out to work at like 6 a.m. doing DoorDash, and I would see the same car in the parking lot every single morning. And this person, they would sit in the parking lot all day, and you could see their stuff in their car. And clearly, this person was homeless living in their car. There are so many people who live in their cars. Even like Walmart parking lots, you'll see the same cars there all day. And it's very, very sad, but that's just what people have to do because they don't have the money to afford this high rent. That is an issue. Nobody should have to live in their cars just because they can't afford rent. It's just not the way to live.
You know it's crazy when people can work and they still gotta live in their car, man. But that ain't it. We got more clips. Let's look at them.
I'm 23 and I live in my car. The only reason I live in my car is because I used to live with my parents. I just couldn't afford rent anymore. So I decided to move out. And my idea was, what if I live in the car and save up because I have a lot of debts? I have a credit card debt, and then I have my taxes. So I gotta pay this shit or I'm gonna go to jail. So I decided to sleep in my car to save up. And I'm also going to college full-time this fall semester, so I gotta save up for that as well. My brother is letting me stay at his place, and I usually sleep in his driveway, and I'm also able to cook there, so I kind of save money. And so I just pack everything the night before, and I just have everything ready when I wake up and I'm ready for the day. I usually side hustle, and I usually make $170 a day when I do Amazon, but lately I'm not getting any orders, so I'm just doing DoorDash. This is me getting gas because guys, gas is so expensive, like I'm dead. Anyways, and I also babysit tonight, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.
And I live in my small little Fiat. Let's see how much money I make in one day as a DoorDasher, on social media, and on my 9-to-5 job. And if you're wondering why do I live in my car, it's because I'm trying to save up for an RV, a tiny house, or something that I can afford. But I haven't even done my first order, and my car was already going crazy on me with all these lights flickering. My first order was at Starbucks. I ended up making $10 and I got a $7 tip. My second order was at Cafe Rio. For this one, I made $20 and I got a $20 cash tip. Then I had another order in the same area at Jersey Mike. This one I only made $5. They ended up tipping me $3. Then it was time to go to my real job. I will be pulling a graveyard shift today, so I will be working 10 p.m. all the way to 6 a.m. and at work I always end up making $120 to $140. We don't get tips at Jack in the Box. Today someone did tip me $5. Then on social media my video ended up making $50 from yesterday. Anyways, don't forget to like and comment so I can make more and get my place. I'm 18 years old and I live in this is everything I ate today as an 18-year-old girl living inside her small car. I work a full-time job at Jack in the Box, and yes, I do get tired of the food, so I started my day with a cup of noodles. We do have a microwave at work. I was feeling super lazy at work because I didn't sleep good last night, so as soon as I finished my cup of noodles, I did end up getting a Red Bull for a little bit of energy. And after my Red Bull, I went and got myself a little side of pickles. I like eating them with hot Cheetos, but I didn't have any today. After eating a bunch of pickles, a couple hours went by and I ended up getting some curly fries. And then somebody ordered churros, but then they forgot their wallet, so I ended up eating them. And then towards the end of my shift, I ended up getting some chicken nuggets. These are my favorite sauces. I also got myself a chicken sandwich. Believe it or not, I do cook in my car. I ended up cooking bulldog ramen with some fish balls. Then I just ended up watching TV. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have to work tomorrow, so bye guys. Don't forget to like.
And then it's kind of dystopian because the people that's living in their car got to make content to make extra money so maybe they can get a house.
I think that people are embarrassed about being homeless, but I look at it from an energy perspective, right? You know, when I had that house, I had all of these bills right here. I'm gonna sit them up here, you know what I'm saying? And they all were fluctuating, you know what I'm saying, in between 200 and 350. You feel me? And it's like me being by myself, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't handle it all, you feel me? And the people that I had in the house with me, they handled their part partially, you know what I'm saying? But the stress that the management company put on us, making us pay more money, extra money, for 3 months, had me paying an extra $550. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was actually it was $450. That was just too much, you know what I'm saying? And now that I'm, you know, not having to pay all that, I got a car that I own. I don't pay a note. It's in my name. I just got car insurance. My car insurance, I went all the way down to liability to the point where my car insurance is like $70 now. You know what I'm saying? I got a phone bill. My phone is with Cricket. You feel me? My phone bill is $50, you know? So really, that's all the bills I got. And, you know, I'm getting my CDL was taken from me when I had a car accident. You can see down in my post that I had a car accident in my BMW, and I almost died. But in that situation, I learned that I had been driving without a CDL for the longest, because when I moved to Indiana and got an ID, they surrendered my Georgia CDL license. So I didn't even know I was driving without a CDL until I got into that car accident and got a ticket for not having a license. I'm sorry, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I had never even thought that would be a thing, to just get an ID and they surrender your license without telling you. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I guess I just wasn't aware of that process. And so currently, that happened last year. It happened around May. That happened around May. I lost my CDL around May. Well, I realized I hadn't had one in May last year. And now I'm back in Indiana. I couldn't get my CDL because I had moved to Georgia right after I got into that accident. And when I tried to get my CDL back in Georgia, they was telling me that, oh yeah, your CDL was surrendered, you know, in Indiana. And I'm like, why was that? And then they told me everything that happened, and then I realized that I didn't have one, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh man, so how do I get my CDL back? And in Georgia, they was telling me that I had to just do everything all over. So I'm like, I gotta do everything all over? Like, what you mean? I drove literally for a whole year for Prime and got paid, you know, crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Literally crumbs. I made $86,000 for those people, and I only got paid 16 bands of that money. You feel me? Like, so that's why I'm like, you know, and then I kept working throughout that. I quit Prime. Well, actually, we just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? We decided to part ways. So I didn't quit. They didn't want me. I didn't want to be there. So we decided to part ways. And, you know, I started working for Hirschbach, and then I started working for AWH out here in Indiana. And AWH started paying me $16.50 a fucking week. So I started stacking bread. You know what I'm saying? And then my brother got popped. I used half of that money. You know what I'm saying? I had just saved my first 10K, like working a job, because I was a guy that grew up in a family of people who never worked. I was in an efficiency with 15 people. None of them got up to go to work. They were all on food stamps and TANF and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And we had no men around. They bullied our men out the house, out the project. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't live there because, you know, it was just a place for mamas with kids. So, you know how they did. They took out people and scrambled them up and made sure that we wasn't a family. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, after watching my family not have any knowledge of self and knowledge of life and knowledge of these systems that we got up that we're up under, it made me realize that, you know what, I don't want a house. I don't want all of these bills, because they stealing all of my money. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go to work and I make money, they steal it all. You know what I'm saying? They charging me extra money for certain bills and stuff that I didn't really have, like the gas bill. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. But literally, these people put an eviction notice, tried to put an eviction on me in the last month after I put in a promise to pay. Yo, they always did the same promise to pay. If I didn't pay it on the 1st, I would pay it on the 15th. If not the 15th, it would be the 17th. This was always done. You know what I'm saying? Because they had me paying $450 extra. You know, so my shit was coming up late every time. So I'm dealing with all of those at the same time, and I'm like, yo, I would rather be living in my car right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be honest, I'm good. I'm at a truck stop. You feel me? I'm a truck driver. I always drive trucks. I'm used to doing this. This ain't nothing. Only thing that I'm really worried about is my girl. You know, she, you know.
Hey guys, I'm Jack and I live out of my car, and I get a lot of comments wondering as to why I'm living out of my car and what my story of what brought me here. Honestly, I've shared this story before. This is the shortened version of the story of why I'm homeless and why I'm continuing to be living out of my car. It was just a bunch of unfortunate events that happened back to back. I was living at home with my mom at the time. However, those apartments were very old and not taken care of, so they collapsed and then they kicked us out. The landlord that bought them provided us with the hotel room for all of us to live in. As you can imagine, 8 people in one room did not work out well. A month after that, I was in an accident and my car got totaled, and I had no means of transportation for my son and I. And there was absolutely no way that I could get him to school and back into my job. Dad and I made the decision that he was gonna go live with him. His father lives 2 hours away. I couldn't see my son because I didn't have a car. There was no way that I can travel to see him, and my mental state was deteriorating little by little. I acquired quite a bit of debt because I would use my credit card for everything that my son wanted, everything that I may needed. After I lost my job, and that was a whole nother issue because I lost my main source of income and there was just like nothing that I can really do. For whatever reason, I couldn't find a job. Besides the family problems that were going on as well, I just didn't have any money. I knew that there was no way that I can continue paying rent, and I made the decision to live out of my car. Honestly, wanted to get any job that I could, and I started applying everywhere, and I got a job in a whole different city. Honestly, that job kickstarted everything that I needed it to kickstart. Now, I'm choosing to live out of my car, not only finish paying off my debt, but to also save money to be able to get an apartment for my son and I. Because a lot of people think for some reason that I abandoned my son. You can judge all you want, but I never abandoned my son, and I'm never going to. Now, I'm giving myself a 4-month goal. So by the end of this year, I am hoping that I reach my, and I will. I know I am. If you guys want to be part of my journey, that would be so great. I love having you guys here. I love the community that we've built here because everyone here is so sweet. I love that there's no hate. I love that there's no negativity. And that's what I strive for everyone to be. So I got 4 months to finish paying off my debt and save enough money to be able to get an apartment. After that, I am very much hoping that I can, you know, settle down. Car life is cool, and I do recommend anyone to do it if you do want to save money. But me being a mother, I don't think I could take doing car life any much longer than the end of this year. I would want to buy an RV and then travel with my son. I think that'd be so great, but that would be in the future, and I'm very, very, very excited to see how that plays out. I'm doing this for my son. At this point, nothing can stop me from accomplishing this. But that is the shortened version, but not really because I hella yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I love you.
So a lot of people are choosing the option of living in their cars simply because they cannot afford to pay rent. In North Carolina, the rent prices are pretty high, but they're not as high as some places that I have seen. People paying $3,000, $5,000 for a 1-bedroom? Where they do that at, friend? Because who in their right mind can afford that when wages just have not increased? So a lot of people are taking their cars, they're turning them into, you know, their own little home. They're taking RVs, they're taking vans, and they're camping that way. Now, if you have a full-time job, I can see how you can save a significant amount of money by doing this. Now, of course, if you're not working, it would be a lot harder, but what the person needs is food, water, shelter, and protection. Your home, that becomes your car. Food, you know, you can go to food banks. You may have a little bit of money coming in here and there. You use that for food. Water is free. Protection, whatever you have. So I can see why people do it, but I think that everybody should have a home to live in.
$2,000 rent is crazy. That's why people living out their cars. But we got more clips. Let's look at them.
Hey guys, so I slept in my car last night and my work has this detached bathroom in the complex, and so I went in there really early and brushed my teeth and it was really cold, so I decided when the market opened to get myself a tea, which is still currently hot and I want to drink it really bad. But yeah, this is me getting ready for work. I just quickly kind of touched up my makeup because I fell asleep in it last night, and then brushed my teeth, brushed my hair, and I curled my eyelashes because I swear it makes such a difference. I didn't sleep that well last night because of the way I packed my car, and when I did it, it was really late and I needed to go to bed, and so I tried to sleep, but it was really uncomfortable and I'm regretting it because now my back hurts. And yeah, I work 9 hours today, so I should not have done that to myself. My tea is still really hot and I want to try it. I took the lid off, but hopefully it cools down soon. This is the way I braid my hair. I don't know why. A lot of people think it's weird and say that they don't know how to do it, but this is just the way that I learned, and so I don't really see it, but I see other people braiding it from the side, not like this, and it looks really cool, but it kind of looks different, so I would like to learn that.
I used to think I was going to be a doctor, and now I'm living in my car with my cats. It's crazy how your circumstances really impact your life. If I hadn't grown up in poverty, if I felt like I had a family that supported me, would my life be different right now? Would I be a doctor? But I know that if I had put in all of the work to study for the MCAT, if I'd paid thousands of dollars to get into medical school and I actually made it, I would just end up stressed about money and starving and unable to focus on school. A few years ago, I was waitlisted into a PhD program in biomedical engineering at Vanderbilt University. But I didn't reapply because I liked the job that I had and I thought it was going to be a career. I was working in cancer research in honor of my Aunt Maggie, who died of leukemia because she couldn't afford to go to the hospital until it was too late. That job really fulfilled me and I wanted it to be my career. I thought I was going to stay in that field for the rest of my life. But then an evil rich lady came along and took that career away from me, and now I know that I'll probably never find another job in that field again. I have no idea where to go from here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what kind of job to try and find. All I do know is that I haven't lived in years. I've just been fighting to survive, and I'm tired of it. I want to enjoy life again, but I don't know how to get there.
Okay, we're going to end this out on a good note. We got a lady who used to live in her car, and it seems like she's doing better. So she's going to talk about the time she was living in her car. Let's go on and get into it.
I've been on the subject of how to romanticize life while being poor, and someone asked me to talk about all the times I've been broke, so get ready with me to continue to do that. So at this point, I'm still 18. My ex-situationship from senior year of high school sent me a check for $1,000 to go get a car after I crashed mine. I worked overtime at my barista job to pay him back. I paid him back, and then I came up with the brilliant idea to live in this piece of shit station wagon that I bought off Craigslist and street perform around the country. I presented this idea to my parents and my sister, and even if no one wanted to do it, I kind of made up in my mind that I was going to do it anyways. Unfortunately, my sister was down to do this whole experience with me, and my parents, they did a really good job of trusting God with us. Basically, I didn't have money, so this was the one way I could think of to travel and see the country without having to pay a lot. My sister and I put together a little route and then just went for it. We slept in Walmart parking lots in the back of my station wagon. We just busk in random cities across America. I would sing for an hour, she would sing for an hour, and we'd alternate like that, kind of all day long. At this point, we'd saved up enough to get an amp and a microphone, so that was helpful too. Our goal was to not necessarily make money, but to just break even, have enough for gas to do this trip. And how much we made definitely varied on where we were. Some places it's illegal to street perform, and those were often the places where we'd make the most money. This is just simply not what I intended to do with my eyeliner. No, isn't what I wanted. Sorry, I am gonna use my t-shirt to wipe off my eyeliner. There's some cities where we'd make $400, and there were some cities where we'd make like $70, you know? We also brought our surfboards kind of on purpose, went coastal route so that we could surf. Nothing about it was glamorous. Like, we didn't shower for days. My car didn't have air conditioning. It was the middle of summer. We literally bought packs of ice to sleep on. in the Walmart parking lots. We'd eat peanut butter sandwiches and chips and salsa. Like, no, it wasn't, we were not doing this to be aesthetic. I didn't have the opportunity to see a bunch of places, and busking was the one way we could afford it. In some of the cities where we busk, yeah, it was competitive. There were some strange things that happened. This group that was also street performing, I think they were upset that we were making some cash, and they fake tripped and poured water all over me and my equipment. And then some guy from the street offered me a ride on his scooter and like scootered us around the city, and we were dancing outside of bars, and it made up for it. I feel like there's so many more details of this whole experience that I could share. I'm running out of time. But yeah, it is possible to travel around the entire country without really paying much if you decide to street perform.
Yeah, man, it's hard out here, man. If you can't afford the rent, man, your only option may be to live in your car if you don't have relatives, parents, somebody who cares about you. You know what I'm saying? But it's been Josh and talk to him, boy, and I just talk to you, boy. I'm out.